Hey y'all, it's Katindabox, and I'm finally back on YouTube with one new improvement. No more glasses, contacts. Okay, so I'm sorry I've been gone so long. Hiatus, laziness, school, holidays, you know, that stuff. So, I'm back this time, and I'm determined to do a video a week. Don't quote me on it, but I'm gonna try, okay? For this episode of Cat's Book Corner, I'm going to be reviewing Urchin of the Riding Stars, the first in the Miss Mantle Chronicles. It's a Red Wall style book where the animals talk, wear clothes, apparently have opposable thumbs. There are no humans, and most of the animals that live in this world are squirrels, hedgehogs, otters, and moles, much like Redwall. So, I guess I better tell you about the plot. Okay, so the plot of Urchin of the Riding Stars is so Urchin is born on a night of riding stars, which means it's a night of shooting stars. He falls from the sky after he is picked up by a gull to be eaten. The two people that see him fall out of the sky are Brother Fur, the squirrel priest, and a young squirrel named Crispin. They find him and give him to a kindly yet stupid squirrel named Apple, and Urchin grows up as normal, except for his condition. He is not a red squirrel. His fur is as pale as honey, as is described in the book. So that makes him a bit of an outcast. Well, when he's about teenager year in squirrel years, he becomes a page for Crispin, the squirrel that found him, who is now a captain at Miss Mantle Tower, which is where the king and queen live. So, on his first day at being a page at Miss Mantle Tower, tragedy strikes. Prince Tumble, heir to the throne of Miss Mantle, has been murdered. So, after the casting of lots, which is a way for them to tell who the murderer is, Crispin is accused. Crispin is exiled, and Urchin is left to be the page of Captain Padra, the otter. Now, little does Urchin know, we already know who the villain is. Captain Husk, another squirrel, who is bent on becoming the king of Miss Mantle and killing anyone who stands in his way, because Prince Tumble is dead, he is the next in line for the throne after Crispin is gone. So once Urchin finds out that it is Husk who murdered Prince Tumble and who is eager to take the throne, Urchin and his friends must fight Husk and somehow alert the citizens of Miss Mantle who is actually the killer of their beloved prince and to bring Miss Mantle back into peace. So yeah, that's the plot. Alright, so I might as well tell you about the characters. First there's Urchin, the squirrel, who is our hero. He's very nervous, shy, but he has good intentions all the time, and at the end of the story, he becomes, like, Miss Mantle's hero. He rises above his, strange beginnings and becomes a kind of legendary figure among the people of Miss Mantle. There is Captain Husk, the villain. He's conniving, evil, malicious, and hell-bent on being king, which is a big thing. There's also Aspen, his wife, who is also as evil as he. There is the king and queen, who are broken and crushed by the death of their son. So they do little to they do little to help Urchin. They have been hoodwinked by Husk, because Husk is the king's dearest friend. There is also Padra the otter, who is a very humorous otter. He never backs down from a fight. Padra always does everything with a nice, bright light in his eyes, So, those are the characters. Well, the big ones, really. Now I'll tell you what I think of the book. I give it 4 cats out of 5. If you're a middle school kid or an elementary school kid, I do recommend it, because It's a bit too juvenile for high schoolers like me. But it is a very good book. There's deceit, death, sword fighting, jousting, battles, blood, treachery, that sort of thing. But there's also love. Lots of love, So that's good. So, like I said, I do recommend it. There are more books in the Miss Mantle Chronicles. I can't exactly I can't exactly name them right now, but you should really check them out. It's by M.I. McAllister. You should totally check these books out. Now, whenever I do these reviews, I usually read the first page. The exception was when I read Looking for Alaska, my first review, where I read the last page, but that's not how I'll usually do it. I'll usually read the first page of the book, because I think the first page is the hook, not just the first sentence, because sometimes the first sentence can be very boring. I think the first page is what really makes people want to read a book. So, I'll be reading it for you, okay? Alright. So here's the first page of Urchin of the Riding Stars. On the island of Mist Mantle, before dawn on an autumn morning, a squirrel lay on her side and watched the shooting stars dash across the sky. It took her mind from the pain. It was a rare night when the stars left their orbits and swirled so low across the sky that it seemed you could reach up and touch them. These nights did not happen often, and when they did, they always meant the great event would happen, for good or for bad. Nobody could know which. Even old Brother Fur, watching from the highest turret in Miss Mantle Tower, didn't know. The mother squirrel didn't know, and didn't care. She lay panting, longing for help with the long, hard birth. But she was a stranger here, and knew nobody. Her own island was far away, and she hadn't dared to stay there. A prophecy had been made about this baby. He will bring down a powerful ruler. Foreshadowing! But, anyway, this is Urchin of the Riding Stars, the first of the Miss Mantle Chronicles. See y'all! Katindabox out.